Skate Date.
Skate Date is a podcast that we do every Wednesday.
Sometimes.
Most of the time. Well, okay, yeah. So Skate Date is a podcast, and it's about two roller skaters who fell in love and decided...
No, it's not about that, but it's brought to you by...
Oh, okay. Well, then maybe you should do that part.
Skate Date is a podcast brought to you by two roller skaters who fell in love the first time they saw each other at a roller derby orientation.
Emphasis on orientation.
And then they realized, like, roller skating became their whole lives, but there was also so much more. And on our skate dates, we talk about everything. So we figured, let's take that skate date to everyone.
Yeah, so that's Skate Date. So I am Rebel.
I'm Shove.
And together we are...
Shovel.
Can you dig it?
Yes, I can.
Wow.
I know you're lucky this week. So, as you can see if you're watching or if you're listening, you've seen on my Instagram, I have brought back the mullet. I wish it was my real hair, but it is just a wig. You know when you buy an $18 wig and you chop it out?
Yeah, I mean, that's the benefit of spending a bunch of money to go to beauty school, right? You can spend less money on wigs.
True. And actually, I don't know, it's funny, I've been doing this for a while, like even before beauty school. Except like now I'm more confident doing on real hair because wigs I was like, whatever, let's learn.
True.
But yeah, sometimes I go, like, I'm giving you 70s aesthetic right now, but I'm also like 90s auntie vibes with this hair. And a lot of people forget that like black women in the 90s also rocked a mullet. Yeah, just a little cultural fact to y'all.
Love that. So today I feel like maybe we should talk about wigs then.
I'm Wiggin.
Okay, so we'll talk about wigs and then we'll talk about roller derby. But besides that, how was your week?
Uneventful.
Uneventful? Really?
I worked. I went to school. Oh, I went to Pigeon Skate Rink on Friends and Family Night, and it was super awesome. The floor was super slick. We talked about it last week. Super cute.
It was really fun. And then we also had some friends come over. We had a little skate sesh the other night.
Yeah. Oh, and I talked about, like, not wanting to go because people that would give me the stink eye, if they were there, they gave me the stink eye, but they had a miserable time, and I just skated my heart out, and other people, like, were afraid to even look in our direction, and I just looked and smiled, and I realized, you know, all you can do is kill them with kindness and be a good person in life.
Mm-hmm. Yes. And how? But yeah, so I'm pretty sure we didn't really do anything else that was interesting besides those two things this past week. I redesigned my website. It took a lot of work, but I did it, and I'm proud of it.
I finally drew something, so something new in the shop will be coming soon. I drew a pandemic roller.
Yeah. And
we'll talk more about them next week when hopefully everything's up. Just gotta wait to buy stickers.
Yeah, and I also studded a bunch of things. I put studs, and I fringed things, and I sewed things. That's what I did the other night. Maybe
I should be less of a femme and more of a stud seal, stud me. Did I take your breath away?
No, I just was speechless. I did not know what to say in response to that. So why don't we instead go on into an ad?
Oh, you're trying to distract people with an ad so that we have 30 seconds to stud each other?
Yeah, I'm sure that's a long enough time. It said no woman ever. Okay. Ads.
I am so ready for fall and spooky season and all of the holidays.
Me too, but there's one thing that I don't have ready at all.
Oh yeah? What is it?
My spooky skate setups.
Well, you know where you can get that, right?
Oh my gosh, I don't know. Oh my gosh, Project Pinup.
That's right. If you're looking to give your skates a seasonal vibe
or a whole new fall personality,
you can get everything you need at projectpinupaccessories.com.
Skate leashes with Halloween scenes?
Yeah!
Skate charms like skeletons or pumpkins with bells?
Hell yeah.
Patches you can put on your skates by the laces?
Definitely.
Well, I guess I'm all set then. I'm going to have the most incredible Halloween setup ever.
And if you use code SKATEDATE, you will get 10% off your purchase.
Rad. Okay, BRB. I'm gonna go shopping right now.
Me too.
Yay, Project Pinup. No, but seriously though, if you haven't ever done a seasonal setup, you should try doing it. It's very, 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 very fun.
It is. It's funny because I usually only do a Christmas setup, but I think I've accumulated enough things that I can finally have a Halloween setup this year. I'm still really bummed that I don't have a black pair of lollies to do like black and orange mismatch, but I do finally have the orange lollies with Clementine, so I think I'm just gonna like steal some laces from cheers to the queers.com and, you know, throw some like Halloween stuff on there from Project Pinup, and it's gonna be dope.
Yeah, if you didn't know, cheers to the queers.com has a full selection of all the lace colors you can imagine. All ready for you to upgrade your skates at any time that you feel the need to change.
Derby laces are the best laces if you don't know.
100,000%.
Yeah. And if you want a little discount, a Rooney on those, I now have a code. I begged her as her girlfriend. I was like, babe, why don't I have a code to your shop?
Yeah.
And she was like, fine, babe. So code shove, of course, code shove everywhere. Code shove at cheers2thequeers.com.
Yeah, and Shove will make money off of your purchase on cheers2thequeers.com if you use code Shove. You'll get 5% off, and then she gets 5% of your purchase.
Because I'm hustle, baby. Just
Yes.
need you to know.
Yes, she is. Okay, cool. Yeah, so do you think we should go on over to the real world now?
I'm a little nervous. I might be wigging out a little bit.
Well, then let's get over there before you freak out too much. Wigging out, really?
You're welcome.
Okay, so in the real world today, we're going to talk all about wigs. First off, what is a wig?
Well, let's get wiggy with it real quick. Loving all these wig friends. Someone listening appreciates it.
Oh my gosh.
Anyways, if you've noticed, if you're subscribed to the Moxie email list, you've probably been like, what are all these weird ass puns? It's because I've been writing them the last 3 weeks. No one should give me that power.
So funny.
All right. So, anyways, what was the question again, babe?
What is a wig?
A wig is hair that can be artificial, like synthetic, or human hair or animal hair, and it is on a track which is sewn to a net and applied to your head. There's many different kind of wigs. There's lace front, there's full cap, half cap. There's ones with I can't remember what they're called. It's like a half wig, and you put a partial, and you can pull your hair through the top. There's wefts. There's so many kind of wigs, hair pieces out there.
Awesome. That's exciting. I bet you a lot of our listeners and viewers didn't even know all that information, so I'm excited for everything that's coming.
Yeah, Rebel and I only own synthetic wigs. I've never had a human hair wig. I've been thinking about taking that leap, though.
It is very expensive, and that is the reason why we only have synthetic wigs, is because a real human hair wig, while super amazing and incredible for many reasons, you can curl it, you can straighten it, you can do whatever you want with it, and it won't turn into the rat's nest that synthetic wigs turn into.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's very pricey.
I watched Chris Rock's Good Hair, and that I used to be addicted to like clip-ins. Let me go back to that. So I used to always do like a sew-in on myself, but mostly I would make clip-ins on a human hair, dye them, clip them to my hair, and just rock it like Scene Kid, and just like huge hair, long extensions, whatever. And then I watched Chris Rock's Good Hair, and it just wrecked me with using human hair. Like, I was just like, everything's a lie. This is messed up. And I just felt a type of way. And then also like European beauty standards, and I'll talk about that a little bit more later, but go on.
Wait, can you explain to me what it is that you saw that made it so like, oof, why would I use human hair?
So they give a lot of information where they travel, like to India, where like Indian hair and oh my gosh, it's I just learned this in school. Get it together, chef. So you have like Asia and you have India that are numbered like 1 and 2 places where we get a lot of our human hair. And so like you never really like think that far back. Like a lot of things that we use, especially in America, like we don't think of like where this came from. It's just like, yay, I have it, I want it, I buy it, you know? So like you I think we've been told that like, oh, like these women are probably like donating their selling their hair for money and like all this stuff. So he goes to a part of India and they find out that there's like a temple, like this huge place, a huge church, basically, a temple, where the women will line up, their hair is super long, and they tell them to shave their head in like the way to devote themselves to their gods. And then they take that hair and then the church sells it.
Oh, that's messed up.
So it's like a kind of like a scam. Is like they're just taking their hair for this, but because they're like they keep growing their hair the whole time. So for them, they think it's something very religious and spiritual, and for the church, it's just like a money maker. And then there's also a huge thing where like a woman will go to sleep at night and wake up with their hair cut off because it's so valuable, and they can get so much money that that's what will happen. People will go and just cut someone's like hair off in their sleep.
Oh my god, that's terrible.
Yeah, and then there's like weird like blends with stuff that you don't even know, and like isn't fully it's just like morally and ethically right to have this human hair, and it's just like talks about the whole thing like, yeah, people will sell that, but Chris Rock walks into a beauty supply with like fake afro hair and is like, oh, I want to sell this to you, and they're like, what are you doing? Like, of course no one wants that. They only want like the good. So you'll see when you're driving, especially in the hood, at all these beauty supply stores, if you're in suburbia, no, I'm not talking about Sally's, I'm talking about like that good. Like I took the Rebel to one like one time.
Yeah, those places are dope.
The good. It's like when people are like, I want Chinese food, and they go to Panda Express. You're like, no, I need that hood Chinese Express for like Chinese food, where like for $5 I could feed my whole family. But anyways, so the beauty supply stores you pass in the hood that are like on every 5 corners usually will always say like, just literally don't have names, just beauty supply. And then I have a small name on the side, and it's always like a huge sign that's like Indian hair, 100% Indian hair. You'll see them all the time. And it's just like a huge thing. Like, people want to go get that. They want to get the Remy hair. They want to get the body wave, like all this, the virgin Indian hair. It's crazy.
Yeah, that's a lot.
When did you buy your first wig?
So I bought my first wig. I shaved my no, rewind. I used to have really long hair. It was like down to the middle back, and I cut all my hair like all the way up to here, like half shaved and like a little like lesbian haircut. When I like back in the day when I moved overseas for a year, and yeah, so I did that, and then when I came back 2 years later, like I had maintained the short hair because I loved my short hair, but then I was graduating from college, and I don't know how I didn't encounter this situation until the moment I graduated from college, but I had not. I clearly wasn't as big of a hat person back then, but I put on the grad cap, and I thought, oh no, this is not what you're going to look like when you graduate from college. You look like trash. Not saying that anyone else looks bad with no hair and a grad cap. I just thought I looked so bad. And so I was like, I need something fun underneath. Like, 1, I need to be distinguished from the other people because that's just how I roll. And 2, I wanted like color and fun and to look and feel amazing. So I bought a light pink wig on Amazon probably, and it was not lace front. In fact, it was a very crappy wig. We still have it, just, for memories. But yeah, so I bought this like short, light pink, layered wig, and I bought it specifically so I could wear it to graduation. And I absolutely fell in love with it. Like, when it showed up at my house, I put it on, and I remember taking a mirror selfie and thinking like, oh my God, I am so beautiful. And just thinking like, wow, I want to wear all the wigs. Like, this is so incredible. And this is before we were together. Yeah, because it was before, it was before I started roller derby. So, yeah, so I just thought, like, oh my God, I look so good. And I didn't have any friends who wore wigs and, like, talked to me about it or anything. So I remember, like, sending that picture to a couple people, and they were like, oh, nice. Like, and everyone was just confused or whatever. And I was like, okay, well, whatever. But yeah, so then I got that one, and I had that one for a while, and I would wear it randomly, and then I got more. And I kept wearing them because I would hide my, like, edgy haircut for when I had interviews and stuff. That was the next thing that I did, is I bought, like, a blonde bob and wore it whenever I had interviews, because people don't like hiring alternative looking humans. So
I already had a couple wigs when we started dating, because I had like the pink bob with the black wigs, our bangs.
oh yeah,
and I had like the pink one and
oh
the
my God,
blonde one.
that's the one that I painted that picture of you with a pink bob.
Yeah. So for me, like I said, I always did like clip-ins or extensions. I had box braids, but I remember one year I was just like, I don't remember what started, but I was like, I'm gonna try wigs. So I went into this beauty salon and I put a wig on, and I was like, wait, this is so cute. I had the same feeling. I was like, wow, this is beautiful. Like, I love it. It's easy. Just throw it on and go. Don't have to deal with anything. Like, as long as my hair's braided down. And then I bought another one, and then I found this website that had like really cool ones, and I bought from there, and I was like, I think I'm gonna be a wig person. And I didn't get more comfortable in them until like Rebel and I started dating, and then she like was like, I'm gonna buy wigs too, and I think we just fed on each other.
Yeah, we definitely fed on each other on that one.
Addiction, and then would like start stealing each other's wigs.
Yeah. And then I'd put a wig on, and I'd be like, wait, this is not my concealer color in the, like...
In the lace.
In the lace, yeah. I'd be like, blend it.
But yeah, and then it's like fun to like cut them and play with them and everything. And I think like a lot of people started seeing us as like extra early on in our skate community, like as we joined the skate community, because of our outfits and our crazy hair, like all the wigs we have. And it's definitely like, I think, something that's a part of our identity. Like, I'm sure when people hear wigs, they think of us, or like, how can you skate in those wigs? Or like, I think it's definitely like a lot of people like, how many wigs do you own? Like,
yeah, a lot of people ask us that.
I think one thing I've noticed is like, I think wigs were always huge in the Black community, and it was just like, because one, a lot of working class people just want to throw something on their head and go, and black hair is something that does need a lot of time and love to take, like, put that style in. It's expensive to go to a hair salon, all these things, so it's easy just to throw a wig on like a hat and go. So that's definitely something. And not, let's all talk about, like, of course, the internalized hatred in European beauty standards. So we always think, well, we don't think, but we know if we go to work or school or wherever it may be, that it's going to be more socially acceptable to have that long straight hair, even if it's short. Like, the straighter it is, the more manageable it is, the more it will be accepted by society, unfortunately, because, you know, racism. And so I think like wigs are huge and weaves are huge for that. I've had people, and I've read the whole argument, like when I talk about cultural appropriation when it comes to like braids and dreadlocks and twists and things, they say, well, black people want to wear wigs to have their hair straight, or do waves or straighten their hair, that's the same. And it's like, no, it's not. But that's a whole nother episode we could talk about. But for me, like, personally, I didn't really get into wigs, so I was like, oh, I don't know, like, is this weird? I'm just walking around with a wig on. But it just felt, like, cute to me, and I love it. And I feel like now it is opening where more people wear wigs, and it's not as big of a deal, but I still don't think it's, like, a lot of people, you know? Like, how many people do you know?
I don't know. I honestly haven't really thought about that until just now. Like, I kind of didn't think it was weird, and I think it's because, like, both of us just wear wigs all the time. and we've been doing it for so long. Like, we literally, like, I would say that this, like, conversion to many wigs happened, I don't know, a month into us dating. Like, it was really quick.
Yeah, and it's not like natural wigs. Like, they're fun wigs. And that's another reason why like synthetic ones. Like, we don't care. We're not trying to make it look like a realistic hair. We're just having fun with it. Because I think we both realize that we're very fashionable people, but we also don't care what people think. We just want to look in the mirror and feel happy and be like that person that we know. Like, you know how you always say, like, I dress like this, so that little kid down the street will be like, wow, she's cool.
Yeah, totally. I also didn't think that people in the skate community were like, oh my god, they wear so many wigs. But I guess that makes sense too. I just didn't even think about it. Like, I didn't make it like... The only thing... Okay, so like, I used to think like, oh my god, I can't wear my wigs as I'm teaching. And I felt like that was like a level of me that was still so, I don't know, not professional, that I put on all these like random colored wigs. Like, I mean, you all know because you watch us, but like bright yellow or like hot pink or like neon green. Like, it's not like... I have a couple blonde ones and like one brunette one, but like really it's not like that. And so I just felt like, oh, I could never wear this in the classroom. Like, the students would not respect me. They'd be like, what are you even doing? But then this year I just decided, you know what? I don't even care anymore. So then last week I was wearing like a green wig, not even this one, like a brighter green one. And like my students were like, I like your hair. And I was like, oh my God. Okay, so it's not a weird thing. So, I don't know, like, I think it's about, like, just being confident. Like, if you want to wear a wig, like, just be confident in yourself, and I think whatever makes you feel good, like, wear that.
Yeah, but, like, okay, let's say you're not a wig person, and you see someone, please, yes, say, oh my god, your hair is beautiful. I love your hair. Don't say, I like your wig. I like your unit. Yes, a lot of people call a wig a unit. Don't
be like, is that a wig?
Is that your hair?
Is that...
Can I touch it?
Like, no. What?
How do you get it to stick on there? Don't ask those questions.
Google it. Yeah,
for.
like, what? I don't understand. But we put on wig caps and we use wig glue, or like we like pin it in.
I like saying, like, even if I'm like that 100% is a wig, but I kind of want to know where they got it, I'll be like, oh my god, I love your hair. And most of the time, because I'll do this, they'll say, ooh, girl, it's a wig. And I'll be like, oh my god, where'd you get it? I need one. And then you discuss, but you don't just be like, ooh, nice wig, where'd you get it?
Yeah, because I think I do to that too. Like, oh my gosh, it's a wig. Like, I just got it. You know, like, it's...
Yeah, because, like, some people are insecure about it, and it just can... It's just rude to, like, just ask. Like, just, like, compliment them and move the F on.
Yeah, because, like, whereas we might be wearing wigs because we, like the fashion aspect of it and enjoy having different looks, I know that there are many people who wear wigs because they have to, or not have to, like, they themselves don't feel confident in their own hair at all, and so they feel like they need to wear a wig in order to feel accepted or not be made fun of. And
they might have alopecia, cancer, just like thinning hair.
Yeah.
And so that's their security blanket, or what makes them feel powerful and able to fit in the world. And then there's some people that just do it for aesthetics. And both are valid. And I feel like I don't know, it's just like one of those things is... What was I going to say? I lost my train of thought. You have anything to say?
Yeah. I was going to say, I think that it is interesting how you choosing to wear a wig will impact other people. So, like, I started wearing wigs a lot in... When did I graduate? In like 2016 is when I started wearing like a little bit of wigs, like dabbling in it. And then obviously 2018 is when I started full on wearing wigs. And I don't have the best relationship with my mom. But one year when I came home for Mother's Day or Christmas or something like that, my mom like sat me down and was like, are you wearing wigs to, like, make fun of me? And, like, do you think that my hair isn't good enough? And, like, all this sort of stuff. And I was like, whoa, what? Like, I don't even know what you're talking about. Like, that is so... You know, no, not even kind of. Like, that's not even mildly it. Like, I wasn't even thinking about you. But, like, she has like issues with hair, and I know I eventually will have issues with hair, so thank God I like wigs. But so it impacts people in different ways, and so it is really important to just be aware that like hair is a really sensitive topic for a lot of people, you know? Like it's not just, you know, if you don't have issues with your hair, I think it's easy to not notice that there are a lot of people who really struggle with that as a big part of their identity. And so I think it's a good thing to think about and have conversation about and be aware of.
Definitely. One thing is that I've always wanted a wig sponsor. Like, I feel like I wear so many wigs that, like, how has no one reached out to me and been like, we want to send you free wigs?
I get that.
Give me a code for wigs.
Anytime I see anyone else with a wig sponsor, I'm like, but also Team Shovel.
Yeah, it's like people that don't even wear wigs and are like, I got it. I got this. And I'm like, what? No one even knows you for wigs.
Yeah, but that's okay. Someday, if you know a wig company that wants to sponsor someone, we will proudly wear their wigs.
You make wigs. Send us one.
Oh my gosh, there is a skater.
Ngozi.
I don't even know how she does. She is amazing. Ngozi makes her own wigs, and do you know what her company's name is, or does she sell them? But she's awesome, and I'm so impressed by people who make their own wigs. On an unrelated note, one time Jenna Marbles tried to make her own wig, and it was absolutely terrible, and I do not recommend without any experience trying to make your own wig and not knowing anything about it.
Rip Jenna Marbles, I miss you.
I know. She was like, I just threw on a beanie, and I was like, you could have put on clip-ins and thrown on a beanie, and it would have looked like a wig. I mean, just being real.
Or glue the tracks to the inside of the beanie.
Oh my God. Easy. One-step hair outfit.
All right, let's get out of Wigland.
All right. Oh, wait. I feel like we should give them, before we leave Wigland, we should give them, if they want to try wigs, like what are some beginner tips and tricks for either acquiring a wig or using a wig if they've gotten their hands on one already?
Lace front. Do lace front. Unless you want bangs, then you can pass. But please do lace front. If it's under $25, just know it's going to shed a lot and get a little messed up faster. Usually the $40 range is like good for synthetic, but don't be worried when you get it out of the bag. It's going to look funny. You have to brush it. Mm-hmm. You have to cut the lace around, and you're going to need to thin that hair out or do what Rebel's doing right now and have a half updo.
Half updo.
It'll never look right if it's all down. It'll be like too wiggy.
It'll be like this big.
Yeah, like you still want to be glam. You don't want to be Halloween, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, definitely. And if you are a person with a bigger head or a smaller head, there's little hooks in the back,
like bra straps,
that you can adjust to make it bigger or smaller, which is how me and Shove wear the same wigs, because I have a much smaller head than Shove does. And so whenever I steal her wigs, I like make them very small, and then whenever she steals mine, she just stretches them
I have
out.
a pumpkin head and she has an egg head.
Yes. And then other than that, I would say if you want to, throw some baby powder or some dry shampoo in that bitch.
Yeah.
To make it look less shiny and wiggy.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And my favorite place to get wigs is Amazon.
Let's go.
Okay, bye. It's the Wheel World,
where we talk about roller skating.
That's really cool.
No, so it's okay for you to do it, but not me.
I'm just saying that you started it, and now I'm...
Okay. Anyways, we're talking about roller derby is back.
It is back.
It's been back for a lot of leagues, but finally, Beach City's roller derby, it's back.
Yes. If you don't know what roller derby is like if football and track and rugby had a baby on roller skates with no ball. And essentially the goal of roller derby is to pass as many of the opposing members as you possibly can in as many runs about the track as you can within each short jam. And the rules are slightly different depending on whether you're doing like different types of derby or whatever, but that's the basic gist of roller derby. And that is how we met, playing roller derby.
Yes, it is. It was the best of times. It was the worst of times.
It was the best of times. I really love roller derby. For me, roller derby feels like a very special part in my soul. One, because it introduced me to roller skating entirely. Two, it's because it's where I met Shove. And three, it really, I think that there's something really cool about learning how to skate in roller derby for me, because it was a very controlled environment, which I think is very different than the way a lot of people learn how to roller skate outside of like artistic skating, which obviously is an even more controlled environment than roller derby is. But I think that I am very privileged in that the way I learned how to roller skate was like, okay, we're going to do this, and now we're going to do this. And I had a coach around me all the time, and I was at practices 2 to 3 nights a week for a couple hours each, and I had a big support system. And I feel like that really created this wonderful introduction to the skate community for me that has helped to form me into the skater I am today.
Ditto. You looked at me all crazy. Like, that's all you have to say. Yeah, roller skating definitely becomes a lot easier to learn when you're in roller derby, because, as Rebel said, you have the coaches there. You have so much support there. Everyone's falling and making a full at the same time, and fresh meat and all that. And I quit roller derby like a year before the pandemic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So Rebel was still in it, and I was like supporting her, but I left so I could start going to night school. And the thing that really got with me is like, it left like kind of like a bitter sweet taste in my mouth, is I knew like, okay, I have assessments coming up. This will determine if I get put like on a team or not. And, or was it Fresh Meat 3 or a team? No, it was a team. There was an assessment, and you have like Fresh Meat, and then you go up to Fresh Meat 2, and then you have another one, and you're Fresh Meat 3, right?
Yeah, I think it's Fresh Meat 2, and Fresh Meat 3.
Yeah. And so I was waiting to get moved up again, and I really thought like, okay, if I fail my assessments, I'm going to go to school now. If I pass it, then I'll at least wait till I play my first bout and finish out the season, and then I'll start school next year. And what sucked is I did my assessments, and I remember being in my head, and I remember doing some things I definitely knew how to do already, but was in my head and messed up. And I was thinking, well, at least they know like what I can do like all together, so we'll see. And what really sucked is I didn't even miss it. I failed them, and not even by a full point. It was like 0.2 away.
Something ridiculous.
It was like 0.5 away, 0.2. It was something so minuscule. That I was like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, that I literally that night, I was just like, when they said announcement one, I put it in the group, and I was just like, I'm leaving, like, I'm stepping down, like, I won't be, like, I'll be in the league, but not playing anymore. Like, it's been real.
I remember that coming out, and I remember wanting to shout at them and be like, your nitpicky bullshit stopped her from being able to play in her first game before she went off to school, and I fucking hated that. And I just remember being like, you know she can pass, and she's totally capable of all these things, and it was very frustrating for me.
Some of the people that passed were like
not as good as she is.
Worse off or the same, but like horrible. Like, there was one girl that literally like quit during assessments, got a bad attitude, went to the side, made a phone call, like, and then the coach was like, come on, like, even let her come back. And I was like, that's horrible sportsmanship.
Terrible
like,
sportsmanship.
Seriously, like, that person got in, and I was just like, okay, whatever, like, I'm over it. Like, it's a sign for me to just go to school now. Mm-hmm. Like, it's fine. I stayed in the league and just did like what, made stuff for Spirit and all that stuff.
Yeah, just random.
Yeah, so I stayed in the league, but I just feel like now, especially after the pandemic, like, I'm so out of shape, and I'm, like, not even going to be that good, so I'm going to start all over with, like, the little ones, just to, like, get my bearings back on, pun intended, and see how it goes. Obviously, I won't be playing anytime soon. It's no contact because COVID is still a thing. So it's really going to probably feel like CrossFit on skates.
Yeah, and I was super bummed because one of the days of the practices is like during a class I teach. So yeah, so I like paid to do the whole until the end of the year, but like I will only be able to go once a week, and I think that that's a major bummer. So yeah, so I feel kind of conflicted about going back to Derby because I actually like the contact part of it is the part that I love the most about roller derby. I feel like if I'm not doing contact, I may as well just like go to the rink and practice my own footwork because like I don't know, like why am I doing it? Like I understand that it's like helpful and stuff, but I really enjoyed the setup of roller derby where it was like one day of like skills and then another day of scrimmage. So it's like you spend your time with skills and then you have your scrimmage day. And so you get a combination. And then even with skills, there was contact. So I don't know. So we'll see how it goes. But yeah, so that's starting.
Yeah, I loved like blocker and Jeremy drills, and then like being able to, I got to scrimmage a few times and that was awesome. But right now I'm actually looking forward to just like footwork and everything because I feel like in roller derby they force you to work on things that you usually avoid because you're just like,
so true.
I don't want to do this
on both feet. On both sides.
I was just about to say that.
Yeah.
So like I transition to the right all the time and it's super easy. And then they're going to be like, now left. And like, since I don't force myself, I have lost the ability to really do it securely. I used to be really good at 180 jumps. And now like, I feel like they're just little baby jumps or like I stop myself. They're not as good as they were because now I don't have someone making me do like 50 in a row. So I'm looking forward to the basics just because that'll get my motor skills getting better. We'll come back and I'll make ramp skating better for me and street skating. So I'm excited for that because I was definitely a more confident risk-taking skater when I was in roller derby.
Yeah, I'm genuinely like so obsessed with roller derby, and I think that I am, again, like I just mentioned it a moment ago, but I think I'm struggling with this going back to derby thing because I feel like once a week isn't enough for me. And I'm going to feel like sad that I'm only able to be there once a week. But I mean, you know, I didn't know what night derby was going to be until like 2 weeks ago. So how was I supposed to know that I couldn't pick up a class that night?
Speaking of not knowing, I literally have our derby starts again in less than 20 hours and from when we're recording this. And I have had no information, or the league, I believe. We just know, like, show up at Pigeon Skate Rink on the 20th if you've signed up for roller derby already. But, like, I don't know if it's a real practice. I don't know if it's just, like...
probably a real practice. You should definitely bring your skates and your gear.
Yeah, I just feel like the first one should be, like, hey, this is what's going on. Like,
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, what if there's new people? Like, maybe there's no new people, but, like, no, I haven't seen people from roller derby that weren't my close friends for a year and a half.
I know, it's wild.
So it's gonna be hard to just be like, hey, everyone that hasn't seen each other for so long, like, boom, like, just let's gear up and practice. Like, I think that's kind of weird. Like, I think we need to have like almost like a huge orientation, like, hey, this is the rink, these are the coaches,
oh yeah, this is the rules,
make sure you have what you need, these are the, I don't know anything about the COVID like safety still, like I don't know if they're gonna enforce masks, like social distancing, like, so I'm really nervous because I hate when there's lack of information, and like, so that's the only like hindrance for me being like, yeah, I'm going tomorrow, is like, I don't know what tomorrow is, and I don't know how safe I'm going to feel. I don't really understand anything. So I guess I'm going to pack everything, but it's like, do I just wear normal clothes? You know what I mean? Like, part of me wants to be like, I haven't seen these people forever. I'm going to come looking good. But then if it's actual practice, then
you're going to be so mad. Yeah.
Yeah, like, I need to have, like, you know, my booty shorts and a tank top on or something.
Yeah, and tomorrow's the night that I teach, so I won't be there.
Yeah.
So it's going to be...
So I'm going to be freaking out. I'm going to call my derby wife, Healy, and be like, you better be coming.
Well, yeah, she better be coming. She better be coming to every single practice.
Yeah. So roller derby, we'll probably be talking to you more about it as time goes on. I am super excited and nervous and annoyed all at once.
I love it. I feel like a very holistic approach to roller derby. I feel like that was definitely my feeling right before the world ended. Like, I was like, okay, I feel overwhelmed and excited and frustrated and pissed and scared and annoyed all at the same time. And I feel like that's just a roller derby thing sometimes.
Or it's just the theme of the 20s. The 2020s, that
Oh
is.
my gosh, it could be. That is very true.
All right.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.
Unfortunately, no one wants to find their skate date. Every episode. We might have to cut Find Your Skate Date.
I know, we might have to cut Find Your
Two Girls,
Skate
One
Date.
Pup. Because apparently all y'all listeners, and there's by far over 100, are afraid to find someone to skate with. And I don't know if you're just like embarrassed and nervous about like talking about yourself, or you think, oh no, my anxiety, and I'm gonna send this in, and then a crazy person's gonna find me, and I'm gonna be like, great, now I'm dead because I didn't find your skate date, which I totally understand. But please, if you're just like, I don't know, I'm nervous, don't be. It's a beautiful thing.
It's a beautiful thing.
We love to hear from you. If you're afraid of that, then sure, just like do a Dear Shovel. But Dear Shovel, you know, maybe you know everything already. You need our advice. Our advice, like, who are we to give advice? But we could sell you on how amazing, others on how amazing you are through Find Your Skate Date.
Yeah, I do think that, like, everyone could use another skate friend, you know? Like, everyone. I could use another skate friend. I'm always making more skate friends. So why not get another one via Dear Skate Date?
Yeah, and maybe you really are looking for love. I don't know. Just write in, because this is getting depressing. I don't care if you're a fake person and you're just in a fake photo and a fake person. I don't care if it's a Find Your Skate Date for your cat, your dog, your fish, your chinchilla.
Oh my god.
Just write in. Just, we're lonely.
Yeah, we're lonely in this section. We're sad.
We have to overtalk in other sections to make up for this section.
That is very true, yeah.
You're going to make me sad and bitter and not want to do skate date again. That's what's going to happen.
Oh no, we don't want that.
I am out of my depression. I am back to like being somewhat, you know, on a good level. And you're going to send me spiral people. Yep, I pulled the bipolar card.
Wow. Okay, so let me disclaimer that and say that you will not send Shove into a spiraling depression if you do not send in a Find Your Skate Date. But you will make me cry, and when I cry, it's ugly. So,
Like Kim Kardashian.
yeah, it's a Kim Kardashian ugly cry. Actually, which one of us do you think has a worse cry? I'm actually a very pretty crier.
Do you think so?
Yeah, I know so. I know I'm a pretty crier.
Not when you're like,
Well, not when I'm ugly
time.
crying, but
Well,
that only happens
obviously.
very, very rarely. But like
when you big cry, it is.
It is
And your forehead
so-
wrinkles up, and your face is like, yes. Oh.
But that only happens when I smash my face into a rink, or I break my leg, or I get a concussion,
Or you're drunk.
or I'm drunk. Yes. But and outside of any of those scenarios, when I'm crying, it's like a very pretty
All right,
cry.
babe, yes, you're a beautiful crier.
Wait, do you think you're a cute crier?
No, and I don't even care. I'm crying. Why am I trying to look cute? If I'm crying, it's because some shit went down.
Yeah, you do not cry
If
very
I'm
often at
crying,
all.
Like, it's bad. Like, I'm one of those, like, sad movie, sad song, like, something sad. But, like, to cry, it's because I want to die or I want to kill someone. That's just, you know, that's what it is. So, I don't want to look cute.
What was that movie that we watched the other day or maybe it wasn't even the other day. Maybe it was a couple weeks
Some
ago.
of those cancer movies.
That we just ugly cried at.
It was a cancer movie. Irreplaceable You.
I ugly cried. Like that was.
Oh yeah, you were like.
I was literally
shaking.
hyperventilating. Like I
Snot
could
bubbles.
not be like a normal person after that. Anyways, you don't want that, so send in a Find Your Skate Date.
I was like, what are we even talking about?
To dearskatedate@gmail.com.
This is now the section where we just break you and threaten you and like.
Anyways.
We will give Bowie away. No. You don't write it.
No. Okay, well, let's leave this section then. Next is Dear Shovel. In our Dear Shovel segment, what happens is you write us a note or a letter or an email or a response to one of my question posts that I put up on our Instagram. And you ask us a question about something random or something that is not random to you at all and very serious, or something that you've been pondering.
Basically, it's just a ripoff of
Dear Abby.
Of any magazine and newspaper.
Or any Dear anything. But basically, it's better because it's Dear Shovel and we can dig up the right answer.
Did you know that Dear Abby became just a bunch of random people that would like just have to write and say they were Abby?
Yeah. That's how else do you think Dear Abby had such long staying power in culture?
Because she lived till like 115.
Yeah, okay. So, now in Dear Shovel we have a question. Do you want me to read it or do you want me to read it?
I'll read it. Dear Shovel, I'd like to know how to let go when being a plus-size beginner skater. I have a problem of being too scared to move because I'm scared of falling and hurting myself. I know I'll be okay, but I just can't get out of the mindset of looking like a fool, falling, and hurting myself.
It's a hard mindset to get out of, to be honest. It's like so for me, I have to like reorient my mindset every time I put my skates on. A lot of times. Sometimes I'm lucky and I'm okay, but like most of the time when I put my skates on, I have to remind myself like, you're gonna fall and that's okay, and if you fall you'll get up and then everything will be fine. And most of the time, like after I fall the first time, like that problem in my head goes away, but like until I fall I like still feel that way and I'm like freaked out all the time. What?
Sorry.
Are you thinking about how I felt today?
I'm just thinking of like coming from, wait, we both fell today, I just realized, but coming from the person that's like broken her tailbone, effed up her wrist, smashed her head in to where she probably should have had stitches but got a concussion, broken her leg, and smashed 4 of her front teeth in. Obviously, she doesn't have the same fear as most people, so it's funny to watch her. Sometimes I have to change my mindset when I listen that you might fall. You think? Like, you're like the queen of injuries. In 4.5 years, you have wrecked so many parts of yourself because you are not afraid. So maybe I should take this one over.
Okay.
But that was cute. Like if I didn't know you, I'd have been like, "Aw."
Okay, you go.
I love you, babe. That was adorable.
Okay, you go.
If anything, I think you're nervous now because you had so many bad things happen to you.
Yeah, maybe.
But you're going to be okay.
Thanks.
Alright, so there's a few things to go through. I'll start with the beginning. Being a plus-size beginner skater. Okay, it is scary. The laughter part, it could be, is it just because you're falling you're afraid of being laughed at? Or because you're a fat person and falling and you're like, oh no, double laugh. Like, even worse. Which I get can be triggering when you're skating, you fall, you hear someone laugh. It can be triggering of being laughed at for being a bigger person, so I get that. Having a problem being afraid to move and falling and hurting yourself, I always give tough love for these fears. Whenever someone says, I really want to skate, but I'm afraid of falling, and then I say, then roller skating's not for you. And the dramatic pause. Roller skating is not for you if you don't want to fall. It's okay to have that fear, but if you're letting it cripple you and you're just like, I can't move, then that means that like I would never do football because too many concussions. I'm not cool with that. And that's most likely you're going to get a concussion at least once if you're going to go into football, right? There's like certain sports where things are just going to happen eventually. And roller skating, skateboarding, rollerblading, any extreme sport or like practice like this is you're gonna fall, and people forget that roller skating is a sport. A lot of us think it's just like a toy that kids do and then we're picking it back up, but roller skating is freaking dangerous. If you didn't just hear the list of things that's happened to Rebel, is it dangerous?
It's very dangerous.
It is, especially when you don't know what you're doing. So
someone commented on my YouTube channel the other day, like, oh, this video is dangerous. Like, my friend is in the hospital now because they tried this. And I was like, roller skating is dangerous. It's not the video. It's roller skating.
Yeah. So, and I know they're probably like, man, fuck you, Chev. Like, all that you're saying. I'm not invalidating your fear. Your fear is very valid. And it's okay to be afraid, because I get afraid constantly because I know roller skating is scary. But I also know that every day I lace up my skates and choose to go on my mini ramp, go to a skate park, skate in the street to the coffee shop, that could be the day that I get hurt really bad. And I just know, like, if I get hurt the few times I have gotten hurt, I'm like, well, it comes with the game. Like, I know what I'm putting myself up to every time I do this. And it's just what it is. But if it's crippling you and you think, like, I am not cool with falling, like, that's not a game I want to play. Either I don't have health insurance, I care a lot about my body, I just don't want to feel the pain, then just don't. Then it's not for you. It's okay. Let it go. And find something else. Be supportive of other skaters, and it's okay. But if you're like, no, I'm afraid, but I 100% want to do this. Like, I'm going to be a roller skater. I'm going to be badass. I'm going to be so cool. I want to feel that amazing feelings that roller skaters have. Like, I'm a roller skater. Put your gear on. Throw yourself to the ground. Literally, let yourself fall. I don't care if you're making a friend push you. I don't care if you're setting yourself up for something that you know. And this is like, yeah.
Learn how to fall first before you do this. Learn how to fall, please. Learn how to fall in the correct way, meaning do not throw yourself onto your knees. Throw yourself onto your side. Do not throw yourself onto your hands. Do not throw yourself on your face. Okay.
Basically, just watch Queer Girl Straight Skates.
Watch how to fall on Queer Girl Straight Skates. Okay, continue.
But yeah, you want, like, there's something about, like, when you fall, like, the first time I dropped in, I didn't trust anyone that was coaching me and doing it. So I just, once I heard her say, like, well, if the worst thing that happened, feel like you're gonna fall, do a knee tap. And I was like, okay, I know how to put one knee down and do, like, a knee slide on my knee pad. So I kind of, like, overshot it and just let myself go onto, like, a knee slide. And then I was like, oh, that was not high. That's the worst that could happen. Like, that's what the fall is. And then I had my fear was okay. And that can happen in ramp skating whenever, like, in derby. It's like I need that first fall to happen. And then I'm so much more graceful and, like, less fearful of doing something after that fall. Because you're like, oh, that was it.
I think the derby helped me get to where I am as a skater with fear of falling. Because they make you fall all the time. And then on top of that, like, you literally, unless you're like some incredible, amazing skater, which 90% of derby skaters are just like recreational, chilling, hanging out derby skaters. Mm-hmm. There's like a top 10% that's like tier competition with the like super intense. But like most of us are just hanging out. And like, let me tell you how often you fall if you're scrimmaging or if you're playing a bout. All the time. Like, if I did not fall at least 10 times or so during a scrimmage, like, I wasn't trying very hard.
Well, that's yourself or someone else knocking you down.
Yeah, like people are literally hitting you all the time on purpose. And so I think that helped me a lot. So maybe have your friend push you.
Yes. And being a plus size person, being a fat person, we are in marginalized bodies, and people are always going to look. And you're doing something that also causes people to stare at you. People are mesmerized by roller skates. Like, roller skaters get stopped constantly.
All the time.
People will ask to take pictures of you.
People will record you without your permission.
Will take pictures no matter what. Like, record, you'll notice, and you're like, what's going on? So, make sure you're secure. Like, I need you to start that road of self-love and body acceptance, because you're strapping something on your feet that's going to bring you even more attention. And I just believe if they're going to look, you might as well give them something to look at, right? Mm-hmm. So it's okay. And when you do fall, because I feel like you are going to be a roller skater, you're going to push through this, and you're not going to be completely afraid of roller skating. It's going to become your identity, part of your identity. Just laugh it off. Like, if you're not fully hurt, just laugh. They're going to be like, are you okay? You're like, I'm good. And get up.
Falling is funny. Yeah, no, roller skating, like, falling is really funny. Like, it's really funny. Like, you should see the freaking fall I took earlier.
Yeah,
like,
she literally was like, gotta watch those rocks. I literally fell right after seeing that.
And, like, fell ridiculously, but then ended up on my side, and so it didn't even hurt. Like, it was totally fine, but it was like, this is ridiculous and hilarious, and so I got up laughing, and people, like, don't know how to react, you know? They're like, oh my god, are you okay? Are you okay? And you're like, yeah, I'm fine.
And within 30 minutes of Rebel falling, then I lace up and we're like, yeah, let's skate down part of Signal Hill, which if you live in the area, you know that's crazy. But we did part of the path that way, and this gal had no toe stops, but did amazing.
I did not. I just survived. I did not do amazing.
I was really scared for her.
I was also very scared for myself.
For me, I was ahead then, and I was like, yeah. But, like, it was like a creepy hill where you're like, this is fine. And then you start getting faster and faster. You're like, ah.
Like, oh, man.
So I was doing turnaround toe stops for, like, all the fastest I've ever done before. And I'm so grateful for what happened. Did not happen during one of those turnaround toe stops.
Oh, yeah, imagine.
So, like, I got to a really steep part, and it wasn't, like, the smoothest, and it had, like, turns, and it would go to an even steeper hill. So I was like, even if I wanted to, like, carve or write it out, like, it would be a disaster. Because I knew there was traffic, like, cars on the other side. So I was like, I'll just turn around toe stop it. Which I was doing, like, on and off. But then I was like, oh, I'm just going to ride the whole thing, like, and just lightly put pressure. So as I'm going, like, luckily since I was going kind of slow, all of a sudden my toe stop popped off that I was using to go backwards with. And, like, I just, like, went plop. But since I was in a deep lunge, like, luckily, like, it didn't really hurt. And I just kind of, like, tapped one knee and then, like, the side of one, and I remember I literally laughed, and I was like, my toe stop, and she was far away.
I'm so far away because I'm going literally like a snail down this hill, because I'm going like 1 foot backwards, and then I'm like trying to spin around to stop myself, and I don't know how to freaking stop, and it's terrible.
And I just hear, are you okay? And I'm like, what? And I'm like, who is that? Because I was like, was that Rebel? And then I hear, okay. And it was a little kid with his family. No one else asked. The little kid was so concerned, and they get closer, like, wow, roller skates. He's like, are you okay again? I was like, oh, little boy. And I was like, yeah, I'm fine. And I'm like, are you sure? And I'm like, yeah, it happens all the time. I was literally just, like, waiting for Rebel to come to, like, help me with my toe stop, because I was an idiot and didn't put it on right.
And then by this time I was like, okay, I gotta figure out how to get down there faster because it's been a really long time. So then I, like, went down and then realized that there was, like, a street that branched off to the right that went up. And I was like, oh, great, I can go. So then I just, like, bolted down it and then just, like, curved off up the thing and then spun around and then came back down and was like, okay, we're good. It was wild.
Yeah, it was a wild ride. So, yeah, it doesn't matter how long you've been skating for, you're gonna fall. And, like, yeah. I wish you the best of luck in learning to let go, as you put, and embracing your size and knowing, like, hey, when you fall, you got a little more cushion, you know what I'm saying? And falling just comes with the territory, as they all say. My dad loves to tell me all the time, it's not a matter of if you fall, but when you fall. So just throw yourself down.
Yeah, and honestly, like, it's worth it, so just do it.
I hope we answered your question with our tough love.
Yes. All right, well, at this point in the podcast, we would sometimes say thank you to people for rating us.
But again, you hate us.
So if you feel like rating us and telling us you don't hate us, then go ahead and do that on Apple Podcasts. That would be fan-diddly-tastic. If you give us 5 stars and a little comment-a-roo, then we will shout you out and gas you up on the air.
Y'all are like, I just like to listen or watch. Like, I don't like to engage.
Yeah, that's okay. We get that. But if you do feel like engaging, be a little risky, add a little spice into your life.
Risky, not just be a watcher anymore.
Yeah, then you can just be like, hey, Shovel, look at me, I'm commenting.
Oh man,
5 stars.
Just popped in my head. What if we did a whole podcast episode where we only talked like it was ASMR?
Oh my god.
And we're like, welcome to Skate Date.
Hello, thank you for coming to Skate Date. Skate Date is a podcast where me and Shove whisper in your ears. Do you like hearing
I always go back and forth. It's supposed to be like a whisper, or it's just talking really soft like this. Okay, this is getting creepy.
Wait. Let me try it. No, I want to try it. Okay. Is it like talking like this? Or is it like talking like this? Oh, creepy.
Yeah, because I was like, are you trying to have a sexual voice?
Well,
Or
wait. I think it's like talking like this into the microphone.
But it's like you pop your P's and your S's. Okay, we need to stop. Our listeners are probably like freaking out. It's getting weird, babe.
Okay, we definitely can't do a full episode like that.
So I need you, if you would like us to do a section or like a little skit of ASMR, like maybe we'll do an ad in ASMR, or you want like our first part where we just talk about things, any section, because obviously we can't do a full episode. Go ahead and put it in the comments of this video.
YouTube,
yeah, on YouTube. Go to the YouTube. While you're there, you might as well like, subscribe, if you know what I mean, and comment if you want us to do a section in ASMR, or if that really just creeped you out.
Comment that you never want us to do that.
Yeah,
ever again.
just comment if it was like, oh, cringe, never again, please, or oh, give me some more.
Yeah. Also, I know that you love Skate Date because you're listening to this right now. But I bet you probably have people in your life that would also love Skate Date, and we would love you to introduce us to them, because we're trying to find more skaters that want to go on skate dates with us. So if you really like our podcast and you enjoy listening to it, share it with your friends, share it with a skater who you think would enjoy it, and we would really, really, really appreciate that. Yeah, so we have a small podcast logistical update, and that is that we have finally, a year in, we have finally decided like how our actual season is going to run, and that is that we're gonna take a 2-week break during the weeks of Christmas and New Year's. So that end of the year, we're going to take a 2-week break there. And then our season is going to end. And that's like a mid-season break, even though technically we're still going to be like on season, like we'll be like season 2 is going to be really, really long. And then you're going to be like, what the hell? Why is season 2 so long? But August, so then we're going to take our summer break in June and July. So we're going to take a 2-month break in the middle of the year. So every year a new season will start in August.
Yeah.
So season 3 will start in August. So season 2 is just going to be like super, super long. You're going to be like, oh my gosh, are these the terrible twos? We've been here forever. And then we'll be like, yes, but we'll have a little breaky break during the summer, go out and skate, have some experiences, so we can come back and talk to y'all about them.
Because breaks are important.
Yeah, what we realized is that we've just been like really hardcore doing this like every week, and there were some times when we weren't able to do it, like for a little bit of time during Disco Oasis and like us getting hurt
or
and
Chev
having
had burnout.
COVID and Chev having burnout, and I think that only having 2 weeks off a year is probably not cohesive to doing this long term. So we want to do this long term. We really want Skate Date to be a thing that lasts for a very, very, very long time. So to do that, this is the new setup. So thank you. Yes.
All right. We love you all.
We love you so much.
I love you so much.
See you next week.
See you next week.
Okay, bye.
Bye.